So recently a participant took contact with me regarding that they had this fear that when they were climbing, they suddenly would get this fear, but they hadn't tied in properly, and they'd end up checking, and it would really diminish the quality of the climbing they were having, and they'd feel really uncomfortable. I started thinking a bit about this, and I felt that when I try to tie in, I tie in mindfully. And there'll be a lot of distractions going on around you at the climbing wall, the crag, which can distract you. And some experienced climbers have failed to tie in properly because they got distracted while doing it and no one checked them. So in this method, I want to try and form a form of style of meditation which could be called anchoring, where we hold ourselves mindfully into what we're actually doing. We hold our attention onto what we're doing, and we try our best not to be distracted. Quite difficult. There's lots of noise going on around you. There's also a tendency, if you're standing below a route which is maybe challenging, which is out with your comfort zone, maybe even falling into the panic zone, that you'll take past experiences, project them through yourself into the future. And while you're tying in, you're thinking, well, but what if, will I be able to make that move? And then it's no wonder that when you get up the route, you suddenly think, oh, I don't know if I've tied in properly, because you weren't present to it. So in this method, I'm going to describe how I try to hold my attention on it by simply just feeling the rope in my hand. I take the rope, and as I drag it through, I feel it. I feel the sensation of it going through, in this case, my finger and thumb. I feel every time it slides and how it feels to touch the rope. And I hold my attention on that. The noise that it makes as it drags through the harness. I'm touching the other ropes as I pull it through. And I just hold my attention on it, really looking at the beauty of this knot. It is a really very simple and beautiful knot. When I've completed tying it, I make some checks. That firstly, I look. It's through the leg loops, and that it's through the waistband in the correct place. I look at the knot here to make sure that it's correct, that it looks pretty and it's clean. In this case, I can see that it's a figure of 8 and that it is neat and tidy. I make sure that the tail is longer than my hand, about 10 to 12 centimeters. In Norway, we don't need to put a barrel knot in. In some countries you do, so you need to check. And if you need a barrel knot, then make sure you have it. Once I've completed it, I take the rope in my hands, I look down at it, and I say out loud, "You're good." And then I say it a bit quieter, "You're good," and under my breath, "You're good." And I can say it internally, "You're good." If I practice this in a comfortable place here at home, then I can really anchor myself in the process of being calm when I do it. If I was to do it at a crag or a climb wall where there's lots of people around and I didn't feel so comfortable, then I would absorb, if it's possible anyway, you could absorb those feelings of people being excited or frightened, or all wealth of emotions that can occur when you're in the crowd can be drawn into that process. If you're below a route which is challenging, you could project the fears you have through that and not really be there all the time thinking, oh, it's a really difficult move up there. So choose a place where you're comfortable. Maybe there's a crag, where there's a route on it you really love and it's really feels well in your comfort zone, you really enjoy the moves. That could be a good place, especially if you're with friends who are very understanding of you. If you're with people that maybe you don't feel so completely relaxed with, then I would avoid anchoring until you've mastered doing it comfortably at home or wherever. And then once you go out and do it, then you'll see that, there's lots of things going on around me, there's lots of anxiety I have about the route, and then I come into the process and you calm yourself. As any tying a knot, with a group, friends, turn and say, once you've done this process, can you please check my knot, please? It's especially important if there's lots of things going on around you. Please check. And if just cursory glance, not good enough. The person needs to come forward and inspect it and make sure that it's attached properly. Once that's done, you can look at your knot and think, you're good, and you're good to go. I think if you do this and do it enough bring it back to this anchoring. This will become an anchor point. So whenever you come to the crag and you're a bit nervous about things, or when things aren't quite what you want them to be, you can just bring yourself back to yourself right here, doing this. And then you can build it up with other things you do. Putting your boots on, racking up, click, 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 feeling the cold carabiner in your hand, feeling the temperature on it anyway, and just feeling it, going through that, getting yourself prepared. I'm prepared now. Everything's good. And then you can go ahead and enjoy. Simple as that. I wish it was.